makes a big difference. Together, we overcome obstacles that seem impossible on our own. Together, we surprise ourselves by going further in the pursuit of our dreams. Together, we do amazing things. We overcome any challenge and improve our physical, emotional, and social health. We don't just cross the finish line. We enjoy the journey. We feel empowered, we feel connected and supported every step of the way. Yes, let's do this together.
Hello everyone, my name is Charlie von Knorring. I'm from Sprint Crowd, and today we have the amazing honor of hosting Fatmir Seremeti. For those who may not know who he is, Fatmir is an extraordinary individual who has achieved amazing things despite significant challenges. He's a Paralympian, an inspirational lecturer, a successful entrepreneur, and a father of 3 children. Fatmir's journey from losing his sight to become a role model in self-leadership and resilience is truly inspiring. We can all learn from Fatmir. Fatmir, from the bottom of my heart, welcome to this webinar today. It's great to have you here. How are you?
Thank you very much. It's amazing. I'm really looking forward to this.
Great. We are excited to hear your story and to learn how organizations and companies can benefit from what you have experienced through all your career.
Thank you, and I hope to be able to share some of my experiences and also to be able to be of help.
I'm sure you will. So let's start to look at the video or a film of Fatmir and his guide, Luna.
We all face challenges, but within us lies incredible strength and resilience. With Sprint Crowd, empower your employees to embrace perseverance and well-being. Let's cultivate a workplace where health and inclusivity flourish. Let's do this together.
So Fatmir, please start sharing about your journey with us and how you overcame your challenge of actually losing your sight.
Well, when I was about 13 years old, I was diagnosed with an eye disease called glaucoma. It took away about 80% of my vision during 2 years, and after that, it slowly decreased. So today, I can just see the difference between light and darkness. So even though you're sitting about 1.5 meter in front of me, I cannot see you, or I cannot even distinguish what kind of colors you're wearing on your clothes. So that is how little I can see today. Losing 80% of your eyesight and eventually basically all of your sight is a challenge. You know, every one of us are afraid of different things. You know, people can be afraid of death. People can be afraid of standing in front of an audience and talking. And losing your eyesight is actually a known fear that we have instinctively. And what I was fearing most when the doctors told me that I would become blind was losing my independence, losing my personality, and being, you know, someone else, and, you know, being blind. I had huge difficulties understanding and accepting my new reality, which you know, during those 2 years that I lost my sight very fast, I also lost my will of living. I lost my happiness. I lost my identity. Before my eyes, you know, my diagnose, I was a football player. I was this little small kid with always running around with a football under his arm and loving life, and everything was fine and everything was happy. And all of a sudden, you know, my reality changes. Who am I now? And you know, we all have our critics It could be your boss, it could be your family members,
Yeah.
it could be your friends. But we have one critic that is the most awful one, the one that actually is the worst one ever, and it lives in our own head.
Yeah.
The one that tells us that we are worthless, that we cannot do anything. And as a teenager, I asked myself lots of questions. Will I be able to educate myself as a blind person? Will I be able to work and provide for myself? Will I be able to find love and be loved and
Yeah.
create family and everything?
Of
And
course.
all of those questions, this awful voice told me that how will that be possible to do? So slowly, I I started, to get huge problems with anxiety,
Yeah.
panic attacks. I didn't, know where to run, where to go. But I have a little small thing left because I did not lose my sight completely in the beginning,
Yeah.
but I still could run. I could, just lace my shoes, go out and run. And for me, on that period of my life, was basically what saved my life.
So running became your best friend.
Running became a sort of medicine, some people told me that you need to get a psychologist and a therapist and stuff like that, and I tried, but I could not really feel, trust in people. I could not tell my siblings of how bad I was feeling. I could not talk with my parents about that. I didn't want to, open up about how bad I was feeling and how far down in the darkness I was. That I was thinking about, basically, I didn't want to live anymore. So running was the only friend, basically, I had, the only medicine I had for trying to feel better.
Were you afraid that they were not going to understand your fears and your dark thoughts, or was that one of the reasons that why you didn't open up, or was it because you were afraid of open up?
Well, I was basically afraid of opening up, and I think we have a huge problem in the society everywhere that boys and men, we should not be weak. We should not talk about feelings. We should not cry. We should not open up to those kind of discussions. And of course, that affected me too as a kid. Like I should be strong and do not talk about that. I'm not feeling well at all. So of course it affected me too. But when I was out running, it was like me, myself, and my feelings and my head, and I was running until I got really tired. Then it felt like something was happening in my body. I can share a story when I was really, really down in my thoughts about not wanting to live anymore. And I live in Malmö, in the south of Sweden.
Yeah.
And I laced my shoes up and I was out running through a park. And in the beginning of your run, I was still thinking about those dark thoughts a lot. I was looking up at the tree trunks and thinking about, okay, does it hurt to hang yourself? Having those thoughts as a teenager was really, really heavy. But I just kept on, a foot after another, and kept on running. And after a while, it felt a little better. And after a while more, it felt even better. And when I had run for an hour and a half, I was feeling like, okay, I can cope one more day.
Wow.
But nowadays, I used to say that on those days, running was a medicine. It was a kind of way for me to stay alive and to cope one day at a time. Today, training for me is happiness. Today, for me, training is something that I do as a prehab, both mentally and physically.
Yeah, you could not live without it.
No, absolutely not.
And it has truly, truly helped you in your whole journey.
Absolutely.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you for sharing this moment with us, Fatmir. So what inspired you to become a Paralympian and an entrepreneur?
Well, you know, when life feels as dark as it actually can be,
Mm.
you know, when you're at rock bottom, you cannot go further down. You know, the next step is not living anymore. It feels like sometimes some things happen.
Mm.
In my case, I call them angels here on
Oh.
earth. Those people who do stuff for other people without expecting anything
Mm.
back, you know.
Mm.
And this person was Laila. She was a woman who actually um, was supposed to help my teachers in school to cope and to handle a student with disabilities.
Mm.
But she saw early on that it doesn't matter what we do for this kid in school. It doesn't matter how many accessibility tools we buy. It doesn't matter what methods of pedagogy methods we use. It will not help.
Mm.
This kid needs to find his happiness again. This
Okay.
kid needs to find the will to live again.
Mm.
And she talked to me about taking me to Stockholm, where I would try out lots of sports that was
Mhm.
um, accessible for people with disabilities, with
Yeah.
visual impairment. And yeah, eventually, after a lot of talking with Laila,
Mm.
I accepted to go there, and it was the first time I actually met with people
Mhm.
that was visually impaired, because one of the hugest fears I had becoming blind was that I didn't know anyone who was
Yeah.
blind.
So
So
this
I
helped you to find equals somehow.
exactly.
Mm.
I did not know. You know, the only guy I've seen blind, you know, it was this old guy, and he got help from both of his daughters, and he got to the cafeteria once a day, and then he got home. It was like, I don't want to live a life like that.
Mm.
So I didn't know anyone. But at this training camp, I met a lot of people, you know, both younger kids and teenagers, but also adults that were blind and visually impaired, that showed me, you know, it kind of showed me a way that, okay, life as a blind person doesn't have to be something bad.
No.
It can be really, really nice, you know. I met lots of people there that showed me, like, you can educate yourself, you can find
Mm.
love, you can do
Mm.
everything you want. And of course, I met those stars also, the Paralympians. That
Yeah.
was the coolest ones.
Of course, and those helped you as well in your journey. So what sport did you actually do?
Eventually, I ended up doing something called goalball. It's a ball sport for visually impaired athletes.
Yeah.
You play with a ball that has sound bells in it,
Okay.
and you have eye shades, so black and out eye shades, so no one can see anything.
Mhm.
And you play 3 against 3, and you throw the ball towards each other, and you have to defend the ball.
Okay.
So you play on a volleyball court, but basically you play on the ground and not
Ah.
on the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And your best
You
achievement?
guys can Google it afterwards, so you can see goal ball.
Goal
yeah,
bowl.
exactly.
Yes. And what was your highest achievement there?
Well, I got the huge honors of getting a gold medal on the World Championships.
Amazing.
I
Wow.
had the honors of attending 3 consecutive Paralympics,
Mm.
where I have a bronze medal at home, and lots of European Championships also. And I had the honors of traveling the world.
Yeah, definitely. So from Paralympian to entrepreneur. Today you are a well-known and successful entrepreneur. Was that a natural step for you to come into this world, to inspire people, tell your story?
Well, I actually decided many years ago, when I was done, thinking about these dark thoughts. It was on a journey to Kosovo, actually, and it was, do it now or never moment. I was on a ridge and basically just could take that step, but I did something else. I took a step back, and I did not do it, and I decided, like, okay, listen, it's not any use of feeling sorry for yourself
No.
anymore. Stop this thinking. You can decide. I live in Sweden. Comparing to those who live in Kosovo, where I came from the beginning, I have a beautiful life. I just have a visual impairment, nothing else. So I can decide my own life. And from that moment, I decided, like, I will do the best ever I can to become someone, to do a great life, not only for me, but also for the next little kid who comes up and gets a diagnosis when he's a teenager, and
Yeah.
We need to work together
And help each other out.
Help each other out.
Yeah, because you said when you were a teenager and this happened to you, you did not really have a role model, and today you can be this role model, like you say then.
Exactly,
which must be a fantastic feeling.
And I know lots of other role models too that
Yeah.
are have disabilities. So today, with social media, with the open society that we have today, it's a completely different world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comparing to how it was in 1995, 96.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So how did you develop the resilience and the self-leadership skills that have been crucial to your success?
Well,
Would
you know,
say?
sports has always been there for
Yeah.
me. What was important for me when I started doing sports again after my visual impairment, after my diagnosis, was that I met people, I met trainers, I met coaches, I met people who just not only believed in me, but also had expectations.
Cool.
People grows with expectations.
Yeah.
If you don't have any expectations on yourself, or anyone else expects anything from you, you will not feel good.
No.
And that is
Amazing.
that is what really drove my resilience forward. Also because I know that these coaches, they believe in me, but they also expect me to perform. They also expect me to do these kind of things, and they did their best, and now I will do my best because we are a team.
Exactly. That's so inspiring to hear, because in the end of the day, you cannot do it alone.
No,
And-
absolutely not. And, we're talking about Sprint Crowd, and we're talking about what we guys doing here, and we are going to run the LA Marathon together.
Yeah.
For me, doing team things, even if you run, I mean, I run with with one of my best friends, Luna. We do it together. It's a way of motivating each other and motivating yourself, because Luna lives in Stockholm, I live in Malmo, and many times I train with other people, or I train at the treadmill.
Yes.
And I think, like, okay, Luna is there for me. I know she does her job, and I will do my job also, so that we can be as prepared as possible for the 16th of March in LA.
For the 16th of March, by the way, we have really cool things coming up for Sprint Crowd. We have partnered with LA Marathon, like Fatmir said, 16th of March 2025. Fatmir and his guide and great friend Luna is going to be our front runners, and we're going to do many cool things together, and we can't wait to be there and cheer you on and follow your journey on that very
it will
amazing
be really
event.
cool.
Yes. So looking forward to that. At Sprint Crowd, we talk a lot about togetherness. I think to have your colleague or to have your friends pushing you through a walk, a power walk, or a jog, or a strength training session, it's so much easier if you have someone to do it with. And you must feel the same when you do your things.
Well, we are starting to get into the really cold weather now.
Yeah.
In Sweden,
that
at
when I
least.
landed
I don't
today.
know where you guys are at home, but yeah, and of course, if it's you come home from work, it's late, that sofa is so nice, cozy. You want to just stay at
Yeah.
home and drink something warm, but when you have
And your voice up here say something to you,
exactly, but when you have a team, when you have someone that cheers on you, a commitment, that of course will make make much more easier for you, to lace your shoes up and they're like, okay, I'm going for this run. And always, I promise you, if you just start the first 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes, then you will feel like great. You will feel great on yourself,
Yes,
and
exactly.
you have your teammates cheering on you and everything like that. And you know, when you're done, you're like, oh yeah, this was the best thing ever.
Yes.
I'm so glad I did it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the you know, the first steps, you know, to come outside the door.
It's just that.
Yeah.
Then the rest is history.
Exactly.
So it's clear, and I know that then physical exercise and activity has really helped you and your life and your journey. What about meditation? I know from our chats before that visualization is something that you do. Can you tell us more about
Yeah,
that?
it's actually a form of meditation, visualization. I think all elite athletes basically know what it is, you know, and even if they don't know, they know instinctively because if you talk to me about, you know, your son plays tennis, for example, or you tell me about running, I can see myself, I can visualize myself running through the finish line in LA. I can visualize myself being outside and running on a cold, crispy day, you know, and feeling the air in my face. I can visualize that moment when I'm done, and okay, I feel really great standing in my shower and like, okay, I did 2 miles today. It was really great. So those visualizations can actually motivate you
Yeah.
to do amazing things because the brain doesn't know if that's for real or if that's just thinking.
And that's so cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you create this feeling of I can do it
Yeah,
and
of course.
confidence or
You create confidence, but you also create expectations. And most, in many occasions, many times, you know, those expectations actually become true because you know yourself and you know how you would perform, how it will feel. And if you visualize it hard enough, it will be like that.
yeah. And you can use it for, like you say, in sports or at home or at work.
You can use it everywhere, in all occasions, everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
if you're at work and you have a tough task in front of you, it can really help. Like stopping for a while, for a couple of minutes, just visualize how will you perform this, how will you do this, how will you. In the best of worlds, how would you like this obstacle or this challenge to be? And then just go ahead and just do it like you have thought you would.
So it's basically you just open up the conference door and there is the audience and you're going to have this presentation, for example.
Yeah.
And then you just see yourself doing that with bravura
Exactly,
and applause in the end.
exactly.
And hopefully that will happen.
Yeah, and if you go in with that feeling, like, okay, it's already done,
Yeah.
you will do it.
Yeah, yeah, and you feel that you
Yeah.
do this on a repetitive, that you have done it before, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's all the same with training. And you know, as much as you visualize, you're going to the gym or you're going out to run or you're going doing this, and of course. Also having the possibility to have a team or to have someone else also help you visualize this because they are expectations and there are someone cheering on you. It's even better.
I think that's a very good commitment
Yeah.
thing for actually doing the exercise. If
Absolutely.
you have troubles to
Yeah.
go out there on your own. So what advice would you give to organizations looking to integrate exercise and meditation into their workplace culture, would you say?
I would say, like, you know, guys, don't be afraid of integrating training and meditation into your work day because we can see lots and lots of you know, organizations that get lots of better results when they dare, you know, they are brave to integrate this in their daily work day, and it doesn't have to take so much time. You know, like half an hour of running can give you a much more motivated workforce, much more healthier, a much more happier employee than those who doesn't get that chance. You know, imagine if if I would work as a salesperson somewhere and my boss comes to me and says, "Hey, Fatmir, listen, every day you have half an hour training you can do. You can go out and run, or
Amazing.
you can do like meditation." I was like, "Wow, thanks, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really love to do that, and I will also feel more obliged. I need to become better at my work because I got this chance. And also, what happens in your body, when you go out running during in the middle of the day or something like that, and you have this chance to do this, it happens so much things in your body that you come back to your desk and then you're like energized.
And you see
And
clarity.
Yeah, you see stuff in a completely different way, and you can perform much better.
So a tip would be for organizations maybe to allow it during working hours. That would create as well increased loyalty maybe and productivity.
That's a dream for me.
Yeah.
That's a dream. I think all of those companies who dare to do that, and there are those examples. I believe Sprint Crowd has lots of examples of that from companies who does that. It's I think it will show amazing results in happiness, and also people that are not homesick so often, and many of those benefits, I think. Training and meditation in a society like we have today. It's everything goes so fast, so much information, so much going on, and like we talked in the beginning, the first little film we saw, you don't have time. You have kids, maybe you have everything. So what do we need to prioritize?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think exactly like that. Fatmir, I could sit here all day long to talk with you. Actually, it's very, very nice. But we don't have much time left. So what message would you like to leave with our audience about overcoming like adversity and achieving success? Just short on that.
Well, it's always a difficult question.
Yeah.
But whatever problem or trouble or tragedy you tend to go through in life, I'm divorced now. I got my visual impairment, my diagnosis. I've been through tough, rough times in my life, not only with my visual impairment, but I tend to see like our head tend to make these problems harder and tougher than they actually ever are. And also, don't listen to this voice inside. Don't listen to this awful critic that you have inside of you. People, tend to listen to this too much. Think, can I do that? Is it good enough if I just run 1 kilometer? Well, 1 kilometer is better than nothing else.
Yeah, sure.
Start with small steps.
Yes.
Absolutely. That was
and turn that voice into maybe something
positive, something good. Because it takes about 3 positive things to neutralize 1 negative. So start today and like thinking positively about yourself, about your colleagues, about your family, and about your situation.
Thank you so much, Fatmir. Amazing to hear your journey. So inspirational. I will listen more to you. I will follow you on social media, or I already do. But it's very, very nice to have you here today. So thank you as well from the bottom of my heart that you came over and made space for us here at Sprint Crowd.
Thanks a lot. And
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to LA. And to all of you out there also, follow us on our journey together. This will be amazing.
Yeah. And thank you, everybody that has been joining in to this webinar. And just put on your shoes, lace up, go out, be active, move more. It's all in your heads. Thank you.